Special thanks to Patreon supporter Brick Bros 2016 for making this video possible. Hello ladies and gentlemen, ZPro here, and welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial. In this tutorial, we'll be going ahead and covering how to build some crater imprints from artillery or bombs. Now, these here are, again, as I mentioned, designed to be kind of more larger craters for bombs and artillery rounds. They're not really designed to be more of smaller explosives like small charges or grenades or small mortars. These are definitely designed to be more high explosive and powerful artillery rounds and bombs. So just kind of throwing it out there again for you guys, just so that take that in consideration when you're building your battlefields and stuff like that. And if you're having big craters like this or something, you may want to show at least something that would be able to make these size holes. So some artillery cannons in the back, or maybe some planes dropping some bombs. Just a few ideas there, but they're really going to be great for sprucing up your battlefields, adding a lot more depth and a lot more design to the builds. And as you can see, we have two different crater holes. We have a kind of a smaller one and then a much larger one, and I'll be talking about basically how to build both those. Both concepts pretty much apply, but good to kind of see at least two different types so you can get an idea, and then you can build some, maybe even smaller holes, some mid-sized ones. And I really wouldn't say any bigger ones. I mean, you can obviously make bigger ones, but you're not going to really have too much bigger of craters compared to what we have on the right there. But yeah, that's pretty much the overview for this. I want to go ahead and give special thanks to Patreon supporter Brick Bros 2016 for making this tutorial possible. And if you guys are interested in supporting the channel more, you guys already do, feel free to check my Patreon page. Link is always in my video descriptions, where you can go and pledge a small amount to the channel every month, and in doing so, earn a video call request to your choosing. It really helps support the work I do on my channel, and you get the cool vehicle, or you get the cool benefit of a vehicle request that you want per month. So definitely feel free to check it out. Again, link is always in my video descriptions. Anyways, with that, let's go ahead and kind of move into the tutorial by starting off with our smaller hole. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and begin with our smaller hole. Now our smaller hole here is pretty simple. We're going to be going ahead and breaking this hole out by hand due to the size, or due to the fact that this hole right here is made from one TNT block. So you can see here that using TNT is going to get you a big crater like this, so it's easier just to break these holes out. And for this, we're just going to go ahead and basically break out a semicircular type of hole here. And we don't have to make it completely symmetrical in circle shape, because that's obviously not how this would work necessarily. Things aren't absolutely perfect. So we'll kind of go with something like that there for this crater. Pretty basic design there, and you can go ahead and do whatever you really want. You can change the shape of this a lot and make some cool designs with it, but this is just for example. Anyways, what we want to do next is we'll be using a combination of coarse dirt, brown concrete powder, Podzol, spruce slabs, dark oak wood slabs, black concrete, and black concrete powder. Now the purpose of the black concrete is to show basically charred land. When a shell hits or a bomb hits, it's an explosion. So the explosion is going to burn and scorch the ground. And I really like putting the kind of more concentration of blacker blocks, like black concrete and stuff, in the bottom of the hole here to show that kind of scorched portion of the ground. I don't recommend putting it way up on the outside of the trenches, way on the outside here, the rim of the hole. I recommend definitely putting it down in the depths of it, so something like this. We can go ahead and then take our coarse dirt and our brown concrete powder and pot soil, and we're just going to go ahead and basically replace the blocks around the sides here with this material. Now, one thing to mention is that you do not want any grass in your crater, unless this is a very old crater. Most likely, well, definitely, you're not going to have grass that survived a blast like that. So we want to make sure that all of our grass is deleted from the rim around our hole, so we get something that looks like this. We can go and then insert spruce slabs, dark oak wood slabs here and there around the hole, just to kind of give it a little bit more shape and make it a little bit more of a kind of shallow type design there. And since this is a smaller hole, I recommend taking slabs and kind of create a brim around the hole here by using your combination of dark oak wood, spruce wood slabs to go ahead and just kind of create a rim that goes all the way around the hole here, like so. to go ahead and kind of create basically the rim for it. So it goes all the way around, and we also want to go ahead and make sure that we have our blocks that go to this side. Now we're just going to go ahead and basically expand these out to the sides here, just to again kind of highlight this exploding type area. Obviously this dirt would be propelled out of the hole, land around the outsides here. That's why we get these rims here, but we also get dirt kind of following and covering up these grassy areas around it. So that's why we're kind of just doing an outline here. And again, you can see we're just kind of randomizing the blocks up. We're not doing any specific pattern, anything like that. Again, just whatever you feel looks good. And right here, that looks pretty good to me. So we're going to go and go with that. Then very simply, all we're going to do is take grass, put it around the spots here around the crater. Now, just know that you can put this grass up against the rim of the crater. There's no problem with that. Just we don't want grass on the inside section here where the explosion actually took place. And that right there is going to basically create your basic crater design. So this is your small one, and we can go ahead and just take water. And an optional thing also is if this crater has been around for a little while, you can also show its age by going ahead and putting some water in the bottom of the hole here from rainfall and stuff, and kind of pooling in the crater. But again, that is something that will kind of have to depend. I would recommend maybe doing a mixture of these holes. Some holes being obviously older than others. A rainstorm came through and filled the older holes, and then new bombardments, new bombs were dropped, and obviously you have your newer holes which have been filled with water. Something to think about when you're doing this. But yeah, really cool design there. Pretty simple type hole there. And I'll go ahead and show you guys also the larger holes and kind of walk you through the process of doing those larger holes. Before we go ahead and move on, I want to mention also that you can use soul sand in here as well for definitely a more kind of muddy type look. As soul sand has a really good kind of muddy texture to it, especially if you're going to, or really wanting a super kind of muddy type battlefield. This is going to be absolutely perfect for what you're trying to go for. And that's right there. It's just basically going to do that. So you can just put some mud around there as well to kind of spruce up the hole. So yeah, so soul sand, definitely a good option to also add for a definitely more muddy type of look for the build. Alright guys, and going ahead and moving into building our bigger holes. Now these holes here are going to be following the same steps as making the smaller ones, except for these larger holes, I like to kind of do an actual somewhat realistic type explosion by going ahead and using a TNT block. Place down one TNT block. I recommend only one, as it's a pretty big hole for one TNT block, and we're going to set it off. Now once this explodes and does its thing, it's going to give us a nice crater. And as you can see, we have a pretty nice sized crater here. It would probably go a little bit deeper if we actually, let it, didn't have bedrock, but it gives you a nice kind of rugged look, and that's what we want here. And at this point, we can go and start going to work. So, like I said before, we can go ahead and put in some black blocks here in the bottom of the crater to show the kind of scorched portion of it, and we can go ahead and also kind of shape the crater a little bit more to our liking. So I don't like having these big kind of gaps right here, so I'm going to kind of put a little bit of cornering to those blocks there, just kind of break it up a little bit, so we get something that kind of looks like this here. But again, I still want that black here on the bottom, and the main focus of it kind of be on the bottom here with that charred ground. I'm going to kind of shape this a little bit better here and not go too crazy, but something like that will work. And then we'll just start basically replacing our blocks here around the sides, just kind of shaping it as we go, and just trying to get a good overall kind of design for the hole, and just using our blocks here. So just using our mixture of blocks. I mean, nothing too crazy here. It's pretty much the standard thing we did for the other one, just kind of on a more larger scale, and that's exactly what we're doing here. Just building a larger sized crater. So we get something that kind of looks like this here and looks alright for what we want to do. And of course we'll want to go ahead and make sure that we get the rim covered in our blocks as well. So we'll go and take this all the way around. Let's put some soul sand in and coarse dirt, just kind of rotating between these blocks here. And our toolbar, not doing any kind of specific pattern is the key. And so we have that around all the way around the side. Now at this point right here, we want to go ahead and then take blocks, and we're going to basically do a rim that goes around the hole. And we're going to go ahead and leave ourselves a little bit of space here, but we're going to go and basically do this rim that goes all the way around. Again, nothing specific, just kind of building it and doing whatever we think looks good. So we're just kind of following the outside around here. And we have a little bit too much coarse dirt right here, so I'm going to kind of break that up a little bit. Have it flow around, and that pretty much completes our perimeter there. Now we then want to go and just take our dark oak wood, spruce wood slabs, and we're just going to go to town. Basically just doing a line all the way around the side here, kind of randomizing it. You know, some places will, you know, skip putting the slabs. Some places it'll be a little bit thicker of slabs. So like right here, we'll kind of do a little bit of a thicker line to the side here. But again, we're not having that perfect symmetry. We're making this pretty rugged. You know, these craters are not going to be, you know, perfectly sized or the same size all the way around for every single one of them. And we didn't want to go ahead and just do the same thing on the inside here. So just kind of back this up by giving us that slope that we want there for the hole. So randomizing our slabs on the inside here. And we create a design that looks like that. And you can see a lot of depth to that hole, especially with the rim on the side here. If you can see, it's a crater, and then when you get to it, it adds even more depth to it. We then want to go ahead and again just replace the blocks around. So again, just to kind of give it that rugged feeling. And make sure we have tons of mud here. And I'm just going to continue to take this all the way around. Don't want to put that there. But just go ahead and keep going all the way around the hole here. And it does take a while to do, that's for sure. But the best thing is you can maybe design, especially if you're on world edit, where you have world edit, so like console versions or anything like that, where you have access to world edit, you can design maybe, you know, 8 of these holes and then copy and paste them throughout your world and rotate them around and all that stuff, and you can actually create some pretty cool looking battlefields with only a couple designs. So that's a technique you can also use where you don't have to build every single one of these holes, you know, stand alone. So we'll then just go and place our grass around, just like we've been doing. So nothing too, you know, proper for these. So just like that. And one thing I want to mention also is we can go ahead and also do some designs here of buttons. So we can go ahead and add some like dirt clumps, which have been launched kind of further away from the hole. So again, this is a design that would also work for the smaller holes. But yeah, you can go ahead and kind of place down your dirt clumps around the side here. This might be a little bit more excessive than we really need to, but again, kind of varies up the ground there, makes it look a little bit, you know, more blown up. Just again, trying to give you guys some ideas on what you guys can do. So something like this, you can even throw in some stone buttons here and there for some rocks that were kicked up, you know. So again, it doesn't have to be anything too crazy here. Just some rocks here and there, and you can even put some rocks in the hole here if you want. So some rocks got, you know, lodged around the hole there and all that stuff, and that's some ideas there. So that's some ideas for making craters. As you can see, this one's massive. You have a good sized one over here. I mean, you know, you pretty much just go crazy with it. These are just some ideas for you guys to help develop your own trenches and, well, not your own trenches, but your own craters and all that. And hopefully this does help and give you guys some ideas and stuff like that regarding craters. But yeah, that's going to pretty much do it for this tutorial. Kind of more of a tips video or kind of a inspirational video, I guess. But yeah, hopefully you guys do enjoy. Again, big special thanks to Brick Bros 2016 for making this tutorial possible. And as always, feel free to check out my Patreon page in the description. Hopefully these ideas do help and they are able to contribute to your world. And you know, hope to see these hopefully in some worlds and stuff like that, and definitely making some cool scenes with them. But that, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Garrett204, and I'll see you guys next time.